Alright guys, welcome back to Miad Gospel TV Health Show. I am Glory, your host for today. So we'll be looking at a very crucial aspect of our life, of our well-being, which is health. So we are going to be delving into the realms of alcohol and drug misuse, along with sexual issues. We're going to shed light on the profound impact it had on our life. So to guide us through this important conversation, I'm delighted to introduce to you our esteemed guest speaker, a person of pharmacist, Chioma Ofia. She's an expert in the field of public health, and trust me, you're going to be enjoying her today. Alright, so just in case you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscription bell down and stay connected. Okay, so thank you. You're welcome, Miss Chioma Ofia.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So what do you have to say to the audience, ma'am?
Hello everyone, my name is Chioma Ofia, and I'll be enlightening you guys on the health problems with alcohol, drug misuse, drug abuse, and sexual health issues.
Hello everyone, I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone subscribed to me at Gospel TV. Please don't stop supporting us. We are promising that by the grace of God, you won't regret subscribing to me at Gospel TV. Don't stop supporting us, keep liking our videos, keep sharing. We love you and we celebrate you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Just like she said, we're going to be looking at alcohol and drug misuse alongside with the sexual health issues it have on individuals. So we got a lot to cover. Let's dive into the first topic, which is the health problems associated with alcohol and drug misuse. Alright, ma'am, so can you please tell us, how does alcohol consumption affect our health? Thank you.
Okay, first of all, we have to understand what alcohol really is.
Okay.
Alcohol is a psychoactive substance that contains an intoxicating ingredient called ethanol, which affects the brain communication pathway as a result, affecting the person's coordination and bringing about changed mood and changed behavior. So why it has this much effect on individuals is because alcohol is a depressant. A depressant meaning that it acts on the central nervous system. So it gives this person the feeling of fatigue, feeling sleepy, you understand? Feeling unnecessarily calm. You understand?
Did you say unnecessarily calm? What do you mean by that? Unnecessarily calm?
The most common characteristics of someone who is drunk is fatigue and sleepiness.
Okay.
So that's the effect that alcohol have. So alcohol actually affects the brain. It affects the pancreas. It makes the pancreas to release toxic substances, leading to a condition called pancreatitis. Then alcohol also causes cancer of the breast, liver cancer, causes liver cirrhosis. It also affects the immune system, meaning that the individual is prone to having diseases and infections. Then alcohol also causes heart, like it affects the heart.
Okay.
Take for instance, it causes cardiomyopathy, which is enlargement of the heart muscle. It also causes arrhythmia, which is irregular heartbeats.
Irregular heartbeats.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. That's quite a list. I was actually going to ask you some of the common health issues associated with this alcohol, but you've done justice to that.
Okay.
So, ma'am, let's dive into the next question. Can you please tell us, for people like us, laymen, we don't really know what you're talking about, pancreas or what it is and all that, but I believe my audience will understand that. Alright, so please, can you tell us the long-term effect of alcohol misuse? Before you do that, is there a way that alcohol can be used appropriately? Is there anything like appropriate use of alcohol? Because some people say a little of it is good for the body. So can you please do justice to that statement, and then you tell us the long-term effects and the immediate effect of alcohol misuse? Thank you.
Okay. Before you take alcohol, you need to be aware of your health status.
Okay.
I mean, someone who has ulcer shouldn't take alcohol because it can aggravate the ulcer. And then someone who have high blood pressure
Okay.
should also be mindful not to take alcohol. Then another thing, if someone who is diabetic, you shouldn't take alcohol too. Then for persons without these health issues, when you want to take alcohol, you have to take it. You have to take it responsibly. That's the reason why they advise you take it responsibly. Okay, how do you take it?
Thank you very much. I was going to ask that. Please, what do you mean by taking it responsibly?
Not taking too much of it.
Okay, so does it mean that not taking too much of it is also good for the health? Like, if you take little of it, it's good for the health. I don't understand. Can you just please?
Yes, if you
Just-
take little of alcohol, it won't affect too much.
But now, my question is it in any way good for the health? Like, any little substance, I'm not talking about the too much use of it. Is there in any, because there's this saying that little of it is good for the health, okay? So is there any way, if I would say is there in any way, please, is there any way that you can say that alcohol, little content or little intake of alcohol is good for the body? Yes, ma'am.
Well, well, people say it's actually good for the body though, but yes, it's okay for the body.
Okay. My pharmacist said little of it is okay for the body. Okay, let me
When
take that.
when taken
Responsibly.
that's
Okay.
what I know. I mean, I don't see the reason why anybody would want to take 4 bottles, 3 bottles in the name of enjoyment. A bottle is okay.
Okay.
You understand? A bottle
And
is
that's
okay.
not for people that have health issues.
Yes. Exactly.
Alright, so what are the immediate and long term effects of alcohol misuse?
Well, the immediate effect of alcohol misuse and abuse is it actually affects the brain
Okay.
in the sense that it affects the way you communicate, it affects your coordination, and then it leads to drug tolerance and dependency. Alcohol is a drug,
Okay.
you understand? So it leads to tolerance and dependency in the sense that when you decide to stop taking alcohol, you find yourself like feeling as though something isn't complete about you. So you always feel the need to want to take alcohol. Scientifically we call that withdrawal symptoms.
Okay.
So the person might need to go for pharmacotherapy to correct such symptoms, such things that they might be experiencing. You understand? So long-term effect of this alcohol is the cancer I'm talking about.
Okay.
Cancer like colorectal cancer, breast cancer, liver cirrhosis, that is enlargement of the liver. You understand? And long-term effect of this alcohol again is that it might lead to perforation of one's organ. When I say perforation, like the person's organ might, should I say, maybe holes,
Okay.
1 or 2 holes, maybe in the kidney, leading to kidney infect and all of that.
Alright, thank you, pharmacist. Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. That's a great one. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, what are some of the resources available to help the people struggling with this alcohol misuse? You know, a lot of youths out there that have been struggling with it, how to come out of it. So what do you think should be the remedy to resources they should
Okay, first of all, reprimanding the individual.
What do you mean by that, please?
When I say reprimanding the individual, like when you see someone, these things someone don't just become an addict
Okay.
or become an abuser of these substances overnight. It's a gradual habit. So when you notice that this thing wants to become an habit, you need to call the person to order. You have to continuously talk to the person. Then also encourage the person to go for counseling. You understand? That's more like rehab too. Rehabilitation centers that actually help such people to come out of it. So you have to enlighten them of the consequence of their action, because many a times they don't end up well. Because if you check very well, people who abuse drugs, taking illicit drugs, they also they were taking alcohol. Probably alcohol couldn't meet up with the highness they are expecting. Then they moved to something higher, which is drugs like cocaine, tramadol, you understand, codamol, and harmful substances like that. Yes.
All
So
right.
from misuse comes abuse, from abuse comes addiction due to drug dependency and drug tolerance.
Okay, ma'am. Talking about drug addiction, is there someone who takes it, let's say once? Some persons will like, I don't take it much. I take it once in a month, once in 2 weeks, but I take it. That's what some people will say. So, what will you call? What's the duration for you to classify someone to be addicted? Like someone is addicted to drugs. What's the time frame of the duration?
Exactly. There's a difference between drug abuse and drug addiction.
Yes.
Drug abuse is taking illegal substances just to get the feeling of highness. Then, drug addiction is a severe form of drug abuse. The key difference between these two is the intention of the individual making use of these substances. You understand? So, the individual that is addicted to this drug, the drug has control over the individual. Most people that abuse drugs, they have control over the drug. They can say, okay, you know what, this weekend I want to smoke. This weekend I want to get high. But someone who is addicted, if you look very well, someone who is addicted, they're usually homeless, many a times. Many a times they're separated from families, and they're usually jobless. But people who abuse drugs, they do go to work, they do other things, they still have control over themselves. But with time, if they are not careful, they might become addicts. So that's the difference between an abuser and someone who is addicted.
Well, we're supposed to talk about the dangers of drugs, different types of drugs and their dangers. But actually, I think you mentioned some of those types
Yeah,
of
there are
drugs.
classes of
So
drugs.
just like a way of recap or something, just talk about. Can you tell us
Okay, there
about
are
types
classes
of
of
drugs?
drugs. I'll mention about four of them. And one, you have opioids. They are pain relievers.
Okay.
Example of these opioids are morphine, fentanyl, and we also have stimulants. Stimulants, they actually they send very fast messages between the brain and the body.
Okay.
Example is cocaine. Yes, example is cocaine. Then you also have hallucinogens. This type of drugs actually changes one perception of reality, and it can also be seen in individuals that have withdrawal symptoms. So example of such drugs are cocaine and ecstasy. Then you also have depressants, CNS depressants. What the CNS depressants do is that unlike the stimulants, example of stimulants is nicotine and caffeine. The stimulants help you to feel more awake, but the depressant makes you to feel sleepy and so calm. You understand? When you're supposed to react in a situation, you're just so nonchalant about it because you're under the influence of drugs. So the stimulants, the depressants, the hallucinogens, and the opioids are actually classes of drugs.
Alright, so when is the appropriate time to take these classes of drugs? When is the right time to take it? We're talking about what's it called? You mentioned you say cocaine or something like that.
Cocaine.
Okay, you said it's a drug, right?
Yes.
So when do you use that drug? I mean, is it actually in use? Or I think there's something like I heard that such kind of drugs have been banned. So
Yes, such drugs have been banned, the likes of cocaine and tramadol.
okay, so
But one thing you have to know is that in hospitals, these drugs now, they are prescription medications. In the sense that, like now, cocaine, they actually use it in formulations of some pain reliefs.
okay.
You understand? Then tramadol, need to get tramadol, drugs like tramadol, codamol, you need to get doctor's prescription before you can have such drugs. So they banned it because they want to control the way these drugs are being used. You understand?
All right, thank you very much, ma. So, just as a way of wrapping up that drug misuse, can you please tell us what we need to do to protect our health from alcohol and drug?
Yes, individuals should learn to, right now, one of the leading cause of drug abuse, alcohol, excessive alcohol intake, is peer pressure.
Okay.
So many people are influenced by their peers. So you need to learn to have a strong will by saying no to these things, because some people feel this need to satisfy their friends and all of that. You need to say no to peer pressure. You need to be careful of your alcohol intake. You need to learn. You need to learn self-control. Then also try to eat healthy. Try to exercise more often. Then try to be engaged. If you look at it, you find out that people who are not engaged, when I say engaged, like engage yourself in activities, engage yourself in one community work or the other, society work or the other, so that you won't be available for temptations or all these people that are deceiving people all around. You won't make yourself available to them. So those are the ways one can.
Thank you so much for your insights, pharmacist Sophia.
You're welcome.
I'm very sure our viewers will find your information valuable. All right, so very quickly, let's dive into the second topic, which is sexual health issues.